said, you're spending your time doing the stuff that the automation should be doing, right?
For sure.
And part of that was through your, the product listing and the pricing that are coming from your suppliers and getting that into the government website. And then also you guys mentioned your accounting errors and the QuickBooks challenges that you guys were having. So really finding a way to find some excellence based around that basic accounting and financial piece was a big component for you as well. Are there other pieces in there that I'm missing that you guys would add to, or am I pretty close on?
You're pretty much on point. There's probably more that has to be added, but we figured we'd start here to see where it's going to wind up.
Okay. Well, that's good. As long as we're in the ballpark. Usually this just helps us scope out if I'm going in a completely weird direction or if we're hearing the right thing. So it's good. As long as we're in the ballpark, I think I would be happy there.
Okay.
So Suite Success, as I mentioned, the key component behind it is the actual experience that we have from Netsuite. I think I mentioned last time, we're now at over 16,000 customers worldwide. We've got, we've been in 203 countries. And like I said, over the past year, we've added over 3,000 new companies to it. But kind of the big thing is, so what? These are a lot of numbers. A lot of other folks can count those numbers as well. But really what it is that we've gained the experience through being involved in folks going into the cloud and giving them financial excellence over the past 20 years that, gives us a large amount of expertise into how and best practices for how companies should work. So because a lot of folks you get in the way we, it used to go in terms of developing or implementing something like an ERP or a financial platform is we go in to ask, hey, what's everything you want? We'll build out big, complicated platform that has tons of customization and all that, and it ends up being huge and expensive and difficult to deploy. And half the time, really what folks would tell us is, well, how do the other folks that look like us do it? So what we've done is we've taken that expertise and we've put it in and actually baked it into the actual solution that we have. And now the trick is, how do we do it, be successful with it, and also make it time and cost effective? So what it is it's sort of a land and expand model where really we start with what we say is establish here to get that, the financials piece, the CRM and your list of, customers and actual items and products, and then the analytics and the tax management behind it, and really develop that first. And, I think that speaks largely to a lot of the problems that you guys have had, right? We mentioned that accounting and financial piece, and getting a handle around, your customers and what you're actually selling. And over time, we call this our stairway or stair step. And what that's designed to do is you get in, really take care of the core of the product, give you guys a good foundation to grow from, and as you guys establish those best practices, you can grow into different parts of the solution to help automate the other parts of your business to make you more efficient, more successful. And that comes down the road. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is turn it over to Claire, who you guys have talked to, and she can kind of really, again, start to work through and show you pieces of how that's going to go. And then we can pick back up later on with best practices.
Excellent. All right.
Here you go.
Perfect.
Morning, Claire.
All right, it's my time. Here we go.
Hi, Claire.
I'm going to steal the screen sharing from you, Mike.
Okay, I think I sent it over, right?
It says, I think you need to stop sharing first.
There we go. There we go.
All right. Here. All right. Are you all able to see my screen?
Yes, we are.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started here. So first thing, we're going to start by discussing the solution, jump into the systems, show you all around a little bit, and then we like to be really clear about what it is we really are going to deliver to you. So we'll just confirm the scope, be really clear about what you all are going to get really on day one with the solution, and then we'll talk about the delivery process, so really what that transition looks like and the level of effort that it takes on your side to get from where you all are today to up and live on Netsuite. So just really quickly before we jump in, I know there's some new people in the room, so I want to introduce myself. So hi everyone, my name is Claire Walker, and I'm a solution consultant here at Netsuite. So my background's in accounting, and that's really where I spent my career prior to making the change over to this side of the house. Specifically to you all, some things that might come into play here. In one of my previous jobs, we were on QuickBooks, ran into some similar problems that you all are experiencing. So I was tasked with really leading this process of finding a new ERP solution and leading the implementation. So I ended up doing just that. So I've made the transition from QuickBooks to NetSuite. So really familiar with what that looks like from your side of the table. So please feel absolutely free to stop me today, ask questions. You know, we like to keep these interactive. My job is to be a resource for you all to make sure we do get those questions answered and to hopefully find some ways that we can help you all out.
Okay, will do.
Oh, perfect. So let's get started here. So before we really jump in, I want to talk a little bit about NetSuite and about why we're different. So NetSuite is designed different than other systems, so we're built on a unified data model. What that means is that all of these different aspects of your business are able to work together, they're interacting together, you're getting real-time information. So this is really the key to a lot of the reports and metrics and KPIs that we have available in the system. So I think key for you all is here, order to cash, what you're billing your customers is directly related to procure to pay, what you're buying. So there's no separate processes, these things are all happening together, so we're interacting together and we can create links between these transactions. And I'll show you that once we kind of jump in here. Then of course it all kind of rolls up to financial management. So you'll hear me say this, probably a couple of times today. I love our reporting. Our reporting is very powerful, lots of tools in the system, and a lot of that comes back to the financial management, kind of giving you the best insight, really letting you know what's happening and why. And NetSuite is also a role-based solution. So what that means is the role is going to determine how the system looks and feels for you, and also what you have access to in the system. So to give you an example, someone that's over here in an inventory manager role is going to have access to anything inventory related in the system, but they're not going to be able to access everything. So if they went in and tried to run, a P&L, well, they're not going to be able to do that because they don't have permissions to. And that's really different from someone who's in, say, a controller role. So the controller role is going to have access to almost everything in the system. They get kind of the full view. So traditionally, people will have one role. Personally, I like to do it a little bit different. So when I was using NetSuite, I had multiple roles for myself and other members of my team. So I have both the controller role and the administrator role. The controller role for, kind of my daily life in the system, running reports, keeping track of the day-to-day. Administrator role for things like creating custom reports or creating custom fields or managing my other users. So you may not have one person that really fits into each of these roles, but that's totally fine. You can kind of take these, use them however they'd like, and these are really just the starting point. So if you wanted to take one of these roles and maybe give them some additional permissions, let them do some extra stuff in the system, absolutely able to do that. Super easy to do. Like I said, my background's in accounting. I have no technical expertise at all, but I was able to really effectively use and administer this system because it's designed for people that may not have that technical ability. So it's really all drag and drop, clicking, never coding. And then, so Mike mentioned suite success. So suite success becomes really important when we're thinking about things like reports and dashboards. So tons of reports and KPIs and forms that are going to be included in this edition of NetSuite. So what Suite Success does is just makes it really easy to get live on the platform quickly. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting with reports. You're starting with these roles. You're starting with things that we've seen work really well in the system. However, the key is kind of in the name here too. So these reports, these roles, think of them as a starting point. Once we kind of get you up and live and running, we turn the keys over and you are able to make additional enhancements, create additional reports, lots of flexibility with this system that's kind of at your fingertips. So just pause there for a second. So does that kind of make sense? Any questions on that?
No.
Not at this point, Claire.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. So we'll keep it moving here. So I really quickly just wanted to talk about item management, and then we're going to go ahead and dive into the system, and I'll show you all around. I have a couple things I think y'all might like. So how this works in NetSuite. So for all of your items, you're going to have an item master, and the item master contains really everything to do with that item. It's your reporting strategy, it's pricing strategy, your inventory strategy. So on an item master record, you can keep track of different vendors you can order that item from. You can see really anything that you want is related to this item. You're also able to see every single transaction that's ever had that item on it. So maybe that's a sales order that you're getting from one of your customers, or maybe that's a purchase order that you're sending to one of your vendors. All of that's grouped together at this item master. And the information information that you have on this item master really flows downstream to transactions. So for example, at the item master, you're going to set a default vendor. You're going to set your preferred vendor, probably the vendor who has the most favorable pricing for you. Well, what will happen is when you set up that preferred vendor, that's going to flow downstream as you create transactions. So, you go to create a PO for that item, well, it's going to default to the vendor that you have set as that preferred vendor. And of course, this information is going to slow down. So your pricing strategy, so what you're charging for this item is going to automatically populate on any invoice that you create for your customers. And then, the pricing is going to kind of do the same thing on the other side, default pricing information for all of those vendors. Warehouse inventory tracking, I don't think this is going to be as relevant for you all. So you all aren't actually keeping any inventory in-house, right? Everything's dropped in.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So we won't worry about that too much today.
No.
But I guess something, if that were to change, if things were to get really crazy, if you were to, for some reason, change your whole business model and start keeping inventory in-house, not a problem. This functionality is here if you need it, but if not, that is totally fine too.
Claire, one quick question. Is this like the entry part on QuickBooks when we go to put in the item itself? Is this that section that you're referring to? I'm trying to relate the two programs together.
That's exactly it. So it's that item setup. And I can kind of show you. I think it really just kind of comes to life as we jump into the system.
Okay.
So maybe let's just go ahead and jump in and take a look, and I can kind of show you.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to drag over my instance of the system here. Alrighty. So I'm logged in today through Google Chrome, but you all can use any browser of your choosing, and we also have apps for both Apple and Android devices. So really no matter where you are in the world, if you have an internet-enabled device, you're going to be able to access the system.
Okay.
And I'm here today, so right now I'm in that purchasing and AP role. So what that means is that this dashboard here is really focused for me as someone who's responsible for all of the purchasing and accounts payable. So information I see here, I've got some KPIs here in the center. I can see if I have any inventory. I can see kind of my payables information this month versus last month. And what you see here is really exactly what you're going to get. So with Suite Success, this dashboard is really what you're going to expect on day one as you kind of log into this system. So like I said, this is what it's going to look like on day one, but you actually have the ability to adjust this. So if I wanted to see some different information here, if I, maybe wanted to move these portlets around a little bit, I can do that. I can add additional portlets, which are these little boxes of information here. So it becomes really flexible and really kind of tailored for you. So I'm going to jump roles really quick. So I personally really like this controller role, so this is something that I used. Again, it looks kind of similar to that purchasing and AP role, but it's a little bit different here, right? So here we have more high-level company information. I'm seeing sales information in addition to the payables information. And again, this is really what it's going to look like for you. Now, these are numbers. These are pretty. These are nice to have. But where are these numbers coming from? Well, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So these numbers are actually drillable. So if you want to figure out exactly where this number is coming from, it's as simple as clicking down into that number, and you can get all the way down to the transaction level detail with really just a couple of quick clicks. So no mystery in really where those numbers are coming from. So there's one of the supporting invoices to that number I saw there on my home dashboard. Now again, this is what it's going to look like on day one for you. If you wanted to add some additional KPI, these key performance indicators, you definitely can do that. So we have a ton of them that are pre-built here if you wanted to see something else. You can actually create custom KPIs here as well. So if there is something specific you want to see, well, we can bring that right to your dashboard here. All right. Any questions so far?
Now, this is the dashboard as soon as we log in. This is what we're going to see, I take it, correct?
That is exactly right. This is your first look at the system. Every day you log in here, and this is the type of view you're going to have.
Okay. So, what questions do you have from here?
So, is it strictly only used on the browser, or is there also something you could download as a desktop version on the computer?
So it is just going to be in the cloud. We don't have an on-premise version, so a couple reasons for that. So the way our system was organized designs the product. So we don't have a different version that's on-premise. You can schedule reports to go out if you wanted to do that, if you wanted to access them, kind of on the go. But we are going to be accessible through any internet browser.
Okay.
But you would have to have internet.
All right, we deal with government, and is this considered safe enough for us to communicate through?
Yeah, so we maintain the same security that most banks out there use. So you'll see up here at the top, we've got this little icon. What that means is that the system is very secure. So, we're backed by Oracle. Obviously, data security is something that's incredibly important to Oracle. And, I think they work with a lot of governments. I think actually their fiscal year is designed to,
Okay.
work kind of best with some of those government providers.
Okay. All right, cool. Very good. Any more
All
questions?
right.
All right.
Let's see here. Okay, so let's just talk navigation here for a quick second. So a couple different ways to navigate through this system. So I do have some quick shortcuts here on my browser. So again, designed for me in the controller role, things I'm navigating to often as the controller. Also, other ways to navigate through this system. So this is your recent records, everywhere I've been most recently in this system. You can also set up shortcuts, things would be like bookmarks in your browser. And then we've got these tabs here across the top. So pretty intuitive, pretty easy to use. So if, for example, you're looking for financial reports, well, that's going to be under reports and then under financial. There's a list of all the out-of-the-box reports you get with Suite Success. My personal favorite way to navigate through the system, though, is up here at the top. So this is the global search bar, similar to the search in QuickBooks, but much, much better. So I always have some issues with that search bar, and this global search bar is really pretty powerful. So any 3 or more characters that you type into global search, Netsuite's going to search the entire instance of the system and return to you anything that meets that criteria. So maybe I want to see what I paid with check number 1560. Well, if I just type 1560 into global search, that bill payment's going to pop right up. It's going to be linked to the original bill I paid, linked to the vendor that I paid, and even the cash account that I paid. You can also specify what you're looking for here. So if you wanted to see, for example, maybe just customers with the letters IMC in it, you can do that. You can also search for things like phone numbers, or you can search for individuals. So let's see, hopefully I got someone. Try to come up with a name of someone I have in the system here. Here, so I've got a contact at this vendor. So, you get a call from someone, you want to figure out who they are. Well, if you just type their name into global search, that's who's going to tell you who they are and the company that they are associated with. So it makes it a little bit easier to manage.
Just a quick question. Could you also search like an invoice number on there or a purchase order?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I'll just make up, let's see, PO. I'm not sure which ones I have in the system, but absolutely.
Cool.
Sales order, 1, 2. Well, I don't know any sales orders off the top of my head, but definitely searchable.
Cool.
Okay.
Actually, let's do this. Maybe I'll take a look and see if I have any sales orders associated with this customer, and maybe we can search for that one. Here we go. Oh, here's an invoice. So it looks like I've got invoice 251. So if you type 251 up here, there's that invoice.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
And it
Yeah,
breaks it
pretty,
down
right?
right in front of it, what it is, whether it's a sales contact or whatever. I like that.
Yeah, this is one of the things that, so when I transitioned to this role, when I transitioned to a solution consultant from kind of using the software as a daily user, I was pretty much solely dependent on global search to navigate through the system. Almost everything I do, I use global search for. So when I moved over, my boss had to kind of retrain me to use some other navigation methods just to, demo to people so that
You were stuck on that one, huh?
didn't have to use global search. Yeah.
Sure.
It's awesome though.
Distinguish between a phone number.
Claire, is there any way to automate this or to connect this to say a caller ID
Yeah.
so that when somebody was to call, it would automatically pop up with their name? There's got to be companies out there.
I'm not sure about that one. You can, so you can search by phone number. So let's say, for example, you get a call from this customer, say you see that number on your phone.
Right.
Well, you can come in here and do 859 dash, what is that, 745
Right.
1400 and find them.
Sure.
So it'll tell you the contact and the customer. That's one way we could help there, maybe.
Okay. I'm just thinking there'd probably be some way to automate that, maybe.
That would be kind of a sweet thing where it just automatically pulls up if they've been paying or you know, all their information, right?
Red flag, red flag.
Yeah, so one way to see that pretty easily, so there's a couple ways to easily see, you know, if this customer is paying. So in this financial tab here, you can see any of their balance information. So it looks like this customer is in pretty good shape, no overdue information. You can also check out this up here. So this is going to be the customer dashboard. So just like we have that dashboard on your homepage, we actually have a dashboard specific to this one relationship as well. So this will give you some insight into this relationship, sales information. You can also see the top items purchased, and obviously this is flexible just like the home dashboard. So if you wanted to see this for a different time frame, absolutely can do that. Tons of information here. Oh, and these are all reports specific to this one relationship as well. So if you wanted to see, you know, sales by item, super easy to do. And again, this is just the one relationship, but you can